Siegel's Home and Finance Radio Show, only for financial news and talk. Now live in studio, your host, local and national real estate expert and consumer advocate, Ron Siegel.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit from current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We're a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, anything I feel would benefit you, and then remind you if you ever have any home or finance-related questions. I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are no operators standing by. I am it.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan or plan to save you money, I personally work with you. Even if you don't have any needs today, save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, of course, we are celebrating today, every day on Ron Siegel Radio, National Anthem Day today. Yeah, and we will stand for that one, the national anthem. Yes, of course. I want you to be happy day. Okay, happy days are here again, I guess. Soup It Forward Day. I don't know about that one. National Mulled Wine. I'm not sure I can go for mulled wine. Right, I've got a nice wine closet. I enjoy a good glass of wine, but mulled wine, I don't know about that one. I'm not sure that I could handle that one. Oh. National Cold Cuts Day. Yeah, we can go with that one. I like those cold cuts. Boar's Head. No, they don't pay me, but I enjoy the Boar's Head version. Hey, let's take a look and see what the markets are doing today. We are checking those out. Dow Jones up 82 points, S&P 500 down 13 points, NASDAQ down 141 points. Ow! Yeah, oil, it's up $1.83 a barrel. Anything to do with the fighting overseas? Do you think that could have something to do with it? Let's see. The gasoline, $2.73.7 per gallon. Not in Venezuela. And if you're looking at $2.40.7 a gallon, not in Venezuela. That's Mississippi. $2.65, that would be New Mexico. How about $3.12 a gallon? Washington. How about $3.49 a gallon? And not there either. That's Hawaii. But Venezuela, we're paying $3.70 a gallon, $3.70 a gallon for gasoline average here in Venezuela. Unbelievable, really unbelievable. So we're watching that one for you. Let's see what else we've got going on here. Let's see. We've got the markets here. Hang on one. Unbelievable what's going on. The Biden administration. Did you follow this one? It's scary. Very, very scary to me. Right? You got a car coming in from across the border, a Ford. It looks like an Explorer or something along those lines. I am not real cognizant of cars. I'm not a big car guy. 25 people in the car. I know it's an SUV, and they're wondering what the purpose was. Everything was taken out except for the two front seats. Is there any surprise as to what that might be? Unbelievable. We're checking that out. Let's see what else is going. Yeah, probably illegals. But there's no crisis at the border. Just ask the Biden administration and this character that is in charge of Homeland Security. No crisis at the border, but there's lots of people still coming into the border. Does that make any sense to anybody? Can anybody understand that one? How You can't have there's no crisis, but you got more people coming across the border than ever. But something, we will just tell them, please just wait. Now's not the right time. And I'm sure the criminals are going to believe every word of that, right? I mean, does that make sense?
You know better than that.
That's our Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Now's not the time to bomb us. Now's not the time to come across the border illegally. Now's not the time to cut down part of the old fencing and create a pathway through and have 25 people in a SUV crash into a truck. Many, many people dead. Now's not the time, people. That's what our Department of Homeland Security Secretary, that's the way he deals with this issue. It's just enough to make you ill when you think about these people. They're the ones that are supposed to be looking out for what's going on in our country. Does that make sense to anybody? I just don't get it, but hey, maybe I'm not supposed to get it. Maybe I'm just supposed to be the guy that does a little radio in the morning, does a little lending in the afternoon, and you wonder about some of these other issues. What do you think about it? Put it in the notes. Put it in the chat. I'm watching it. Moving right along. Hey, that will be, in my opinion, there's a few things that are going to really harm the Biden administration, which means it is going to harm the United States. I don't root for them to be have a problem with the administration. I just can read between the lines, see what's been going on. We've been talking about all these things since before the election, but now that we're a month into the administration, unfortunately, we see that we told you is basically true. So the economy, where's that heading? What's going on there? Well, when you get oil prices going up and gas prices going up, you're not going to have a strong economy. Why? Well, it's the exact opposite of what you need for a strong economy. We need people to have money. And on top of that, where's that money going to? Well, according to the administration, they don't want it going to the United States. They'd rather see that money go into some other country. Believe it or not, we were energy independent until you start cutting off the pipeline, cutting off the fracking, cutting off the natural gas. So why is that? Why don't you want a pipeline in the United States to run oil for U.S. citizens, but it's okay to have one going from Russia to Germany? Can somebody help me understand that? But the economy, we already know that President Biden, we had 8 years of his sub-leadership under President Obama. A stagnant economy. Didn't go up too much, didn't go down too much. Expect anything different now? Immigration, we're going to have a problem there. Obviously, that's already going on. We're seeing that the immigration is going up. We're seeing, I just talked to you about the car crash, killing people. And a lot of kids in that car as well. And they're saying, okay, let's bring the kids over. That's the criminals' way. That's their get into America free card, right? So we go and we grab a kid over in South America, bring him to the border, say they're our kid, no one knows the difference, walk into America, get asylum, get sent out to go and do whatever you want in America. Oh, yeah, with an $1,100 travel voucher from the Biden administration, $1,100 travel voucher. And all you have to do is promise to come back to your hearing. Does anybody really believe that?
You know better than that.
No, they're not going to come back for the hearing. Then what are they going to do with the kids? Okay, so they come in with a minor just to get across the border. Do you think they're going to take care of the kids? Probably not. Now what happens? So we've separated the kids from their families in South America, brought them into the U.S. illegally, and we continue on. The other thing that's going to be a big problem for the administration, but they won't say anything about it, obviously, it's the cancel culture. Amazing. Have you watched what's going on with Dr. Seuss now? This just baffles me. And would somebody please tell the cancel culture not to put me on their list? Because what have we seen so far with the cancel culture? It's amazing what the cancel culture does. The cancel culture goes out there, and you're right, it is infuriating that what's going on. Cancel culture, right? So they go out there and they tell the folks, don't go to Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A has their biggest sales event ever. Don't go to Hobby Lobby. Hobby Lobby's sales skyrocket. Don't buy Goya Foods because the CEO was with President Trump. Goya's sales go through the roof. Now they go to Dr. Seuss, right? So Dr. Seuss's birthday yesterday, and they're talking about canceling Dr. Seuss. And Mulberry Street, I don't know the whole name of the book, but I did go on Amazon last night. About 50% of books in the U.S. are sold on Amazon. Went on Amazon last night. Mulberry Street was one of the books that is being taken out of circulation because of prejudice. The book is now selling for $1,500. $1,500 on Amazon. 52 books from Dr. Seuss are on the top sellers list on Amazon right now. 52 of them. So can you cancel me? Right? My sales will skyrocket if you cancel us right here. But what's going to stop this cancel culture? Well, you got it. You understand what's going to happen. University of Texas. And so the cancel culture says that they don't want the fight song anymore. The Eyes of Texas. No longer can we have the fight song at the University of Texas because the cancel culture doesn't like it. Well, there's a opposite effect on the cancel culture. The alumni reached out to the school and said, you know something, if the Eyes of Texas song goes away, so do our donations. I bet you can guess what happened to the Eyes of Texas.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
Yeah, they're keeping it. Nowhere. It's not going anywhere. So that's how you get rid of the cancel culture is you just get rid of, you put the money to it. And that's why I said, hey, cancel us, please. We could use the ratings increase. We could use the lending team going crazy with business. Petaluma, California, they're going to be another one that's going to help the downfall of the economy. Right? No more gas stations, no new gas stations in Petaluma, California. Yeah, they're about 35 miles north of San Francisco. No new gas stations because they only want electric cars. Who's going to fill the electric cars? Where are you going to fill them at? Leave San Francisco, heading up maybe to Napa, heading back. Where are you going to fill up your car? Just throw that out there for you. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, the cost of waiting. That's what we're going to show you about a way. There's a property I saw that's for sale here locally. And we're going to use that property. It's by a friend of ours. Mike Kelly's got the listing on this property. We're going to use this property as a demonstration on how you might be able to increase your net worth by $1 million. $1 million with this property. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com. Connect with us, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. On Twitter, no longer on Twitter, at Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Real Estate Radio is hosted by local real estate and finance expert Ron Siegel. The purpose of this show is to help consumers understand what's really going on in our local real estate market. We're teaching you the why and the how-to, so you'll always be one step ahead of everyone else. Whether you need to sell your home for top dollar, refinance and save money, or even buy a bargain in Southern California, Ron Siegel can help. Call Ron directly at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Take advantage of speaking with Ron anytime you're entering a real estate transaction. Having someone who can answer all of your questions that truly cares about you and your family's best interest is priceless. Call Ron Siegel today and you'll be glad you did. 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or you can visit realestateradio.com for more info.
Blue Water Credit Repair is the industry leader in fixing bad credit. Did you know a 40-point increase in your credit score can save you $40,000 on a home loan and $4,000 on a car loan? You deserve good credit and peace of mind. Take the first step today and go to bluewatercredit.com. and register for a free consultation from one of their credit repair experts. That's bluewatercredit.com.
Trimming of your retirement does not include losing your house. However, due to today's lower stock market, higher medical bills, and taxes, many retirees face this very problem. This is why it is necessary that you, as a baby boomer considering retirement within the next 10 years, understand reverse mortgages and what one could do for you or your parents. A reverse mortgage could make it possible for you or your parents to travel, buy a second home, or start a new business. For more information about reverse mortgages, just call our off-air number at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990, or visit realestatewithron.com and click the free workshop button.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next mortgage, Geneva Financial, they've got the programs for you. You've got the call, make the phone call, or you can simply text. Very simple to text My Home Mortgage to 79564. My Home Mortgage to 79564. Get a hold of our friends there at Geneva Financial for that next home loan. What's going on in the mortgage world? Yeah, Dow Jones now up 76 points. The NASDAQ is down 163 points. Ow! Not pretty right now. And we're looking the S&P 500 down 11.5. The 10-year Treasury, it's up to 149 right now, 148.8. That one's moved up about 7 basis points today. And the mortgage-backed securities, they are down 48 basis points. That means it's down quite a bit for interest rates as well. What is driving all of this is the real question here. What's driving all these numbers? Well, the ADP report shows there are 117,000 jobs created in the month of February, which was weaker than the 165,000 expected. January's report was revised higher by 21,000 from 174 to 195. Service sector accounted for all of the gains, led by transportation and utilities, which added 48,000. The hospitality sector added just 26,000 jobs and is down 3.8 million jobs from when the pandemic hit. Friday, we're going to get the more important BLS jobs number, where the bar has been set low, with estimates only looking for 140,000 jobs. Not very many at all. The Mortgage Bankers Association released their mortgage application data for the week. They do that every Wednesday, showing that overall application volume increased by 0.5%, purchases up 2%, but are only up 1% from this time last year. Refinances were essentially flat, up 0.1% last week, and are only showing a year-over-year growth of 7.1%. Refinance's share of the mortgage activity decreased from 68.5% to 67.5% of all loans. Interest rates increased from 3.08 to 3.23. Yikes. Ow! It's 34 basis points, roughly 3/8 lower than this time last year, the largest single week increase in almost a year. Remember, the MBA rate is for last week and always includes a fraction of a point. So this time you have to pay 0.48, almost a half a point, to get that rate of 3.23, which is up from 3.08. So just keep track of that, keep an understanding of what's going on there. But that is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial. When you're ready for that next home loan, Geneva's got the programs and the products. You've got the phone. Make that call, 800-306-1990. So I figured today we would talk a little bit about cost of waiting. Cost of waiting, because it is a big issue. Many people don't think about the cost of waiting. They just look at it and say, you know something, I'm going to buy a house and we're going to go from there. I get it that you made that decision. Or I hear a lot of people right now saying, Ron, what do you think? Is the market going to continue to decline? Are we going to continue going backwards? What's happening in the world of real estate? What's happening? You know, we see if the housing market, and you get these reports like we saw yesterday from CoreLogic, where they said 76% of the people that do not own a home, 76% of households that do not own a home, do not plan on buying in the next 6 months. 76%. Okay, so what does that mean? Where do we go from there? Okay, we got to look at it and say that means, well, I told you this yesterday, right? So if 76%, and there's about 40 million households capacity to buy a house, and give or take, right? So we've got that data, 40 million, 76%, the reciprocal of 76%, 24%. Would you mind if I just called that 25%? So 3 out of 4 are not planning on buying a house in the next 6 months. But let's think about the reciprocal of that. Yeah, the reciprocal of that tells us that 1 out of 4 are planning on buying a house in the next 6 months. Remember, I told you there's 40 million households is the capacity. Well, if that's the case, then that tells us there's about 10 million households that are contemplating buying a house in the next 6 months. Now, when there's only 1 million houses for sale, we understand that situation. We understand where we're going with that. We understand that there are problems with people finding households or finding houses to buy. That's the biggest issue that we see right now is, what are you going to buy? If there's nothing out there for sale, what are you going to buy? Okay, so that's issue one. Then the second issue is you hear these people that, and especially the young people, and there's no fault of the young people, but the young people grew up in a day when, figure 10 years ago, 11 years ago, 12 years ago is when we had the Great Recession. 33-year-old today, obviously, and the 33-year-olds is the number one age for first-time home buyers. 33 years old, Great Recession, they were probably about 20. The last thing on their mind when they were 20, the last thing on their mind was real estate. But what they might have heard was mom and dad having a problem with their real estate, and that's the connotation that they have. And they hear, okay, interest rates are way up. What does that tell us? Well, interest rates have to go way back down, right? Property prices, they're going to come back down. They did before, they will again. And they could be right, but I don't think so. And I'm going to show you exactly, and I'm going to show you graphically why that's not correct and where the error and the fallacy of their thinking is. But I do want to show you a chart that I have here, and I can send this to anybody that would like it. We've got this chart that kind of shows, we call it a real estate report card. And I just happened to generate this for Orange County, California, because I know we've got an audience in Orange County, California. But if you look at that, if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv or any of our social channels, you're going to see that in Orange County, California, the median home price is $822,852. That'll be important when we get to looking at this rent versus own or buy versus own category. The other thing that you're going to look at is the 61-year average of a home of appreciation in Orange County, California, 5.29%. That's the average over the last 61 years. 4.36 was over the last 10 years, 3.61 over the last 5 years. Forecast 1 year of 6.93, 3.2% of population. Household formations, there's about 43,000 households based on the 27 to 35 population. First-time home buyers to be taken from inventory, 24,000. So there's actually going to be about 10,000 homes going to be sold here in Orange County, California. Inventory, not a lot of inventory for homes in Orange County, California. You've got the employment numbers. Unemployment sits right now 7.43%. And on the chart, you'll see in the bottom right that housing is extremely affordable in Orange County, California. Now, it's not as affordable as it was in 2011 during the Great Recession, but it is extremely affordable in Orange County, California. And that's when you take the mortgage compared to the median home price, which I told you, $822,000. Compare that with the median income. So that's where they come up with affordability. But that's going to all be very important. The real estate report card will be very important when we get back to discussing the buying power, the way to create wealth, and should you buy now or should you wait? We're going to get into that when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, on Twitter @Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, shame on you, but the replay is available. Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Hi, we're here with Ron Siegel, the host of Real Estate Radio. Ron, welcome to the studio. Give us insight as to what your show is all about.
Hi, Eric. Thanks for having me. Thanks for asking me that question. The reason we developed Real Estate Radio is right now there's an abundance of misinformation out there. So Real Estate Radio is a show designed to give Southern California a focal point for their real estate knowledge, as well as a place to go just in case they might need anything real estate related.
So how are you helping people?
That's actually pretty simple. People need advice. So it really doesn't matter who you are. If you have any real estate questions, we're here to help. Whether you're buying a home, selling, you're experiencing a loan modification, short sale, foreclosure, there are a lot of things going on in this marketplace.
How can people get a hold of you?
Real easy. All you have to do is call. The number is 1-800-306-1990. Press option 1.
Interesting times in the market right now. Where do you think the markets are going from here?
That's a great question. All I can say is this. The housing market came down one house at a time, and what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to build it one house, one family at a time. So the best thing that anyone can do is access the free advice that we really want to give you. And to do that, you simply need to call me. The number is 1-800-306-1990, option 1. I'd really love to help.
Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Are you paying rent because you think you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you renting because you don't believe that you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? The Siegel lending team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel lending team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com, license under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rates subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment today being brought to you by the area trusted real estate professionals of Ron Siegel Radio. Text SLT Home Digest to 79564. SLT Home Digest to 79564. Let's get that digest to you. And it is compliments of your friends at Ron Siegel Radio. How smart is it to buy a home today? We've been talking about that all morning. Whether you're buying your first home or selling your current house, if your needs are changing and you think you need to move, the decision can be complicated. You may have to take personal or professional considerations into account, and only you can judge what impact those factors should have on your desire to move. However, there's one category that provides a simple answer. When deciding to buy now or wait until next year, the financial aspect of the purchase is easy to evaluate. You just need to ask yourself two questions. One, do I think home values will be higher a year from now? Two, do I think mortgage rates will be higher a year from now? From a purely financial standpoint, if the answer is yes to either question, you should strongly consider buying now. If the answer to both questions is yes, you should definitely buy now. Now, nobody can guarantee the home values or mortgage rates will be by the end of the year. The experts, however, seem certain the answer to both questions above that I just shared is a resounding yes. Mortgage rates are expected to rise. They have been already. And home values are expected to appreciate rather nicely. So let's look at how waiting would impact your financial situation. That's what we've been talking about today. So assumptions that I'm going to show you in a graph in just a minute. And the experts, they're coming up. Mortgage rates will be 3.18 at the end of the year. They're already there. The experts are right. The home values will appreciate by 5.9%. And let's say we're going to use for a national number. You want to buy a home valued at $350,000 today, and you're going to put down 10%. 10%. That's not a big down payment, but $35,000. I know it's a lot of money, and there are ways of doing it for less. So don't think that you have to put down 10%. That is not the point right here. We're just using that as the example. And again, if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, you're going to see a chart on the screen. If you're watching us on any of our social channels or the AM 1490 KMET ABC News and Talk video feed, you're going to see this chart. And it tells you what the cost of waiting is based on that home price. So based on the assumptions I shared with you a minute ago, you're going to pay an extra $20,650 for that $350,000 house if you wait. You need an additional $2,065 for the down payment if you wait. You're going to pay an extra $116 in your monthly mortgage payment. That's almost $1,400 a year if you wait. And you do not gain $20,650 in the increase in equity if you wait. It's all on the chart that we're showing right there on the screens if you're watching us. So there's a lot of things to consider when buying a home. However, from a purely financial aspect, if you find a home that makes sense for you, if these concepts make sense to you, doesn't it further make sense to give us a call at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, so we can put you in touch with a real estate professional? Now, the first step in buying a new home, and yes, I know you're going to tell me it sounds self-serving, but it is the right way, is to reach out to a mortgage professional. Now, whether you call our team, you should, or you call somebody else, the first step is getting a hold of a mortgage professional. You don't want to go out shopping for something that you can't afford. You don't want to go out shopping and get disappointed if there's something that a surprise comes up on your credit report or something along those lines. You don't want to do that. So with that in mind, give a call to a credit professional, get pre-underwritten, yes, pre-underwritten, so that you can get that all taken care of, and go ahead and just make that all happen. Then we'll put you in touch with a real estate professional in the area where you want to buy a house. Right? There's a lot of folks that are great professionals. Now, I know you've got a friend whose friend whose friend whose cousin's friend whose friend is a real estate agent. And they did one transaction in 2010, but they've got their license and they've maintained it, and they're not going to be the right person for you. Might be a great individual, and they may say, you know something, I'll kick back some of my commission to you. Got it. But is that really what you need? Is that really what you want? Right? The idea here is you may save a couple bucks, but if they make a mistake, it could cost you tens of thousands of dollars. So, and it always looks easy, right? Anybody that does anything really, really well, they make it look easy. It's not always quite as simple as they make it sound, but they do make it look easy because they're really good. So let's contemplate this, and let's think about getting you in touch with a professional in your neighborhood that can help you with the right process, doing it the right way. So now let's take a look at a property. Let's get involved, get right down to it, nitty gritty. And as you know, I frequently feature a home on Ron Siegel Radio, so we'll give them an extra slot here today and tell you the featured home today is brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Yeah, myfavoritelender.net has the featured home. Whose property is it that we're going to talk about that we will highlight today and show you how to make $1 million by using a strategy? Here it is. Featured home. We're going to talk about this property, 4415 East Pepper Creek Way in Anaheim Hills. It is a listing by Mike Kelly, the Mike and Travis team out here in Anaheim Hills. Welcome to Rock Point, one of the most desirable communities in Anaheim Hills. 4415 East Pepper Creek is a single-story charmer positioned on a single-loaded cul-de-sac street and offers a spectacular view of the hills, city lights, and snow-capped mountains. With only 6 houses on the street, this home offers quiet serenity, pristine curb appeal, plus a versatile floor plan that can pique the most creative style and design ideas. The entry boasts wood flooring and neutral color palette, and fabulous great room concept living room anchored by a warm and inviting stone fireplace. Price on this property, $999,900. Again, Mike Kelly is the agent for this. Let's look at some listing or some financing options. 30 years, 10% down. You're looking at about $4,105 a month. 30 years, 20% down. You're looking at about $35-36 a month. And strategically, again, 30 years, 25% down. Strategically, $3,062 a month. For those of you keeping score at home, that would be an APR of 3.849, 3.421, and 2.955, NMLS 217037. That's all the particulars about the property. That is the featured home today, and that's what we're going to talk about. How do you make $1 million or potentially make $1 million by taking action? We're going to use this property as our example. And again, it's Featured Home brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. Mike Kelly, give me a call at 800-306-1990 so we can chat about it. And we're going to talk about the $1 million opportunity when we come back. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, it's 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio, no longer on Twitter at Ron Siegel. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube. Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Is your credit score over 800? Are you living in the home of your dreams or simply where you think you can afford? Are you earning a safe, secure 10+% return on your investments? If the answer to any of these questions is no, what are you doing about it? Text ATP to 79564. Complete a 3-minute complimentary survey, and the area trusted professionals of Ron Siegel Radio will reach out to you to develop a success strategy for you. Again, all you need to do is text ATP to 79564.
Do you have a goal of mortgage-free home ownership? What if your home was valued at $500,000? Are you aware that a free and clear home could be costing you $2,500 every month, $30,000 per year? The mortgage planners at the Siegel Lending Team would like to show you how you can own your home, generate tax-free income, and accumulate family wealth. You simply need to call Ron Siegel at 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. By sending the team a copy of your most recent mortgage statement, the team will send you a no-obligation mortgage adoption plan. You be the judge if it's right for your family. Again, all you have to do is send the team a copy of your mortgage statement by email to map@ronsiegelradio.com or call today Ron Siegel 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporation and MLS 217037 and BCALBRE number 018694552.
Are you paying rent because you cannot afford to live in your dream home? Are you paying rent because you don't believe you have the down payment funds to purchase your own home? At Siegel Lending Team at ronismylender.com has up to $25,000 to help qualified people purchase their own home at amazing interest rates. Contact the Siegel Lending Team today at ronismylender.com. Again, ronismylender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037. ronismylender.com.
Do you believe Southern California real estate is a great investment? Are you a little short to be a cash investor? Are you missing the Social Security card or tax returns? The Siegel Lending Team has the loans for you. Common Sense Lending is back. Yes, there's a cost to higher risk, but the reward can be great. Call today for details. 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 217037 and DRE number 1869452.
Are you currently renting a home? Do you like paying someone else's mortgage payment? Why not explore the options to purchase your own home? Can you imagine a 30-year fixed rate below 3.5% APR? This means with $10,500, you can purchase a $300,000 home and have a principal and interest payment of about $1,300 per month. What are you paying in rent? Does your family deserve the opportunity to take advantage of the current market? To learn more about these exciting opportunities, the Siegel Lending Team is standing by to speak with you. Call now, 1-800-306-1990. That's 1-800-306-1990. Or visit SiegelLendingTeam.com. That's SIEGEL LendingTeam.com. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed to NMLS ID 217037. Equal housing lender. Not endorsed or sponsored by any government agency.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by myfavoritelender.net. I'm sorry, it's brought to you by mysocallender.com, mysocallender.com. 4 ways you can use your tax refund to work on your credit. It's a good idea right there. We've talked about a lot about credit this week. Each year, millions of Americans pay income taxes to the federal government, but if you're among those who paid more taxes than you owe, you'll receive some of that money back from the IRS when you file your tax return. Size of your tax refund may be big or small, depending on several factors. Your annual earnings, withholdings, tax bracket, any deductions or credits you claim can all play a role in the amount of money you get back from or owe Uncle Sam. In 2020, the average tax refund that the IRS sent to tax filers was $2,741. Whatever the amount you receive from the IRS, it's additional money that you probably don't have factored into your regular budget. So figuring out how to spend that extra cash can be exciting. Will you spend your tax refund on something fun and indulgent, like a shopping spree or a weekend getaway? Many people do. Or will you put your tax refund towards something that will make your financial life easier? One idea you may want to consider is using your tax refund to help your credit. No, you can't buy a better FICO score. It doesn't work that way. But if you spend your tax refund on one of the 4 ideas below, there's a chance your credit could change. Number 1, bring past due accounts current. Pay down your credit card balances. We talked about the credit utilization rate earlier in the week. Get a secured credit card or 2 or 3, right? So you can use that money, get a secured card, and that way you can start building your credit. And number 4, build an emergency fund. Now, building an emergency fund doesn't have a direct effect on your FICO scores, but if you have some cash tucked away, it could help you when unexpected financial emergencies come about. Bottom line here, make a plan. That's what's important. Make a plan, get it done. That's the Your Credit Matters segment brought to you by our friends at Geneva Financial, mysocallender.com, mysocallender.com. So we've been chatting this morning. We were talking about buying or the cost of renting versus the cost of waiting. And what's going to be better for you? What is it going to cost you? I already showed you what the cost of waiting was on when we talked a little bit in the real-time real estate segment. And if you missed that, shame on you. But we did talk about the idea, and that was just on a $350,000 house. Yes, I know $350,000 does buy some properties in the Inland Empire. Not a whole lot in Orange County, but you can double the numbers and they all still work the exact same. So if you were looking at it, the price on a $350,000 or $700,000 home today is going to be $370,000 or $741,000. Based on the assumptions we spoke about. They're just assumptions. They don't work perfectly, but we can use them as based on a historical basis. The mortgage rate's still going to go from 2.97 to 3.18, most likely, maybe even higher. The down payment, instead of needing $35,000, you need $70,000, and instead of it going to $37,000, it's go to $74,000. The mortgage amount, $315,000, goes to $630,000. If you wait, it's going to go to $667,000. Your payment, it's going to go from $1,300, $2,600, $2,700, or it'll double up to $2,800. And the equity gain, that's the big one, $20,650. But if in Orange County, if you get a double the price property, you're looking at $41,000. But I told you I was going to use the exact property that we featured in the last segment, featured home. And I'm going to do that for you right now. Let me see if we can get that on the screen, guys, so we can talk a little bit about this specific property. And we're going to go over some exact numbers on this property. And just to give you some of the caveats of what we're talking about here, is we are going to look at a property, $999,900. That's the one I talked to you about a little bit ago. That we had, that's listed by Mike Kelly, the Mike and Travis team at First Team Realty. So buying that in year one, and we're there's some assumptions in here. Obviously, if you're looking at $1 million home, you're probably going to be looking at about a $4,800 rent on that property. So the first year, we're going to call it $4,653. The monthly principal and interest on that property is $3,791 right now. Property taxes and insurance, $1,204. Maintenance and repairs, $416. The total monthly expense buying it year one is $5,410. Now that's going to stay that way for the next 30 years, and I use an interest rate of 3%, 3.404 APR, it's going to stay there for 30 years. But in year one, you're looking at that $46.53 is the monthly principal and interest, and you're going to have $70 in insurance, no maintenance, no repairs, no property taxes. So the first year, you're going to be better off on that property by renting. By year 9, though, you're saving, the property has gone up to $6,000 in rent. It's a 3.2% increase, just using national numbers. So your total cash flow in the first year, in year one, is going to be that monthly expense, $5,410. By the time you get to year 9, it's $6,000. So the cash flow difference, you're going to be down $9,000, almost $10,000 after the first year. But that's just the first year. That's all we're talking about right there. So now let's take a look at what happens over the longer term. That's what's more important, right? So you're not developing anything with that rental, but the appreciation on the property, based again on historical numbers, forecasted appreciation 7.48%. After 9 years, that $999,900 property is going to be worth approximately $1,914,000. And let's put in there an assumption that it's going to cost you $114,847 to sell the property. Okay, so right there, you've got an appreciation gain of $914,219 by buying that property right now. And yes, I've got this stuff right there on the screen if you're watching us on ABC News and Talk AM 1490 KMET video feed, or any of the RonSiegelRadio.tv video channel, socials, or whatever. Now, in amortization, because you've got a forced savings out of that $5,410 every month, part of that is going to principal. That's savings. So based on that 9-year amortization table, you're going to have saved $191,000. You're going to have paid principal still due of $708,000, but you're going to have put $191,000 into the principal savings. So your net gain by buying the house, oh, and by the way, let's just throw in there an $11,800 tax benefit. Your net gain by buying this house is $972,233. Again, none of these are all hypotheticals. We're using forecasts, we're using history. That's all we can use because we can't guarantee anything, right? The only thing we can really guarantee is death and taxes. But the whole idea here is that's a $972,000 in net worth over the next 9 years. Think about that. $972,000. Now, yeah, you've got to be making some decent money to buy this house, to qualify for this house. But our focus here is what else are you going to do that's going to get you $972,000 in additional net worth over the next 9 years. Now, I'm just a simple guy. That's what's at about $97,000 a year, right? $97,000. That's a lot of money. Think about that. If you're thinking about buying a house and you're saying, okay, Ron, I'm going to wait a little while, what are you waiting for? Now, if you've got other opportunities that'll allow you to do better than that, okay, I get it. That might make sense for you and your family. But for the most part, especially if you're that young person that we were talking about, that 33-year-old that we started out the whole discussion with earlier in the broadcast, right? We talked about that 33-year-old who's just starting to form their household right now. Maybe they're married, maybe they're not, maybe they've got a baby on the way, but that's where the household formation starts, is usually about age 33. If you fit that mold, if you fit that category, get in the game. Because we're going back to the same thing that I shared with you a little bit earlier. Maybe you are the one that's buying that $350,000 house, and maybe it is $20,000 that you're going to be seeing in appreciation just in the first year. $20,000. What else are you going to do for that first year to get $20,000 in appreciation? And oh, by the way, you still have to live, right? So it's not like you're not living in the first place. So you're going to have to live anyway. You're going to have to pay rent anyway. I want to know what your questions are. I want to know what you think about the concept. I want to know what's holding you back. Because the question is not what if you do it. The question might be, what if you don't do it? Right? And I'm not trying to sell you anything because I don't sell real estate. I just educate you. What if you don't do it? What if all these things come to pass and you're kicking yourself saying, I wish I had listened to Ron Siegel Radio. I had listened to follow the advice that Ron gave us. I wish I had bought that $350,000 house and I would have had $20,000 extra dollars 1 year from today. It's your call. Not up to me. I've made my decision. It's up to you to make yours. And as always, I ask you, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. A big thanks to John and Sean, who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.